Today we have the guys from Pier City Cycles with us, and they've brought along their midnight racer, and we're going to find out all about it. Gents, good to see you. Stu,
thank you for having us.
Rory, thanks for bringing this down. We did a video in like 2022, and we came down and saw your place, and we heard all about the origins of Pier City Cycles, your racing background and all of that. And in that video, there was the first midnight racer.
Yep. Generation 1, first one out of the box.
Yeah.
Bit of a project. Bit of a labour of love. That was actually my own bike. That was our own one. It was something that we wanted to do, loads of stuff that we'd never really seen, and wanted to make something really special. And we fell in love with it. We fell in love with our own bike, which has got to be a good thing, I guess.
Absolutely. And this is a series now, isn't it? Like a project that spawned from that bike.
Yeah.
So what's the plan?
So effectively what we've done is we've taken what we call as PCC greatest hits, our signature parts, and parts that we've spent a long time developing, in-house parts that we've thought, hold on, there's an area in the market, a gap in the market for us to make our own version of this, whether it be mudguards, 3-in-1 rear ends. How can we turn these parts into a business card? And the only way to do that, going through the memory bank, is Midnight Series. Right. Midnight Racer, we loved it, everybody loved it. It went nuts on Instagram, it went nuts online. We then done a slight different connotation of that with the Silver Racer. Yeah. That went nuts, people went nuts for that. So we're like, tell you what, let's basically do an amalgamation of basically both bikes. And let's do a deep, sick paint job and something that we can turn around very, very quickly, but make individual to each customer. And so Midnight Series came out of that.
So it's kind of a configuration program where you say, I want to take these elements, put them together, choose colours.
Yeah. So basically what we've done almost under the hood is we've put everything that we know that works and everything that works really, really well together. The noise, the ride, etc. But we know that within the custom bike market, people want to have their own bespoke choice, their individuality and such. What we said is you can choose your colour, will then give it the midnight paint scheme. So have that real sort of like, almost like liquid feel to it. We've got different seat options on there, and we've got different exhaust options on there. Again, all the stuff that really, the emotive part of it, the stuff that, the sound of the bike and that sort of thing, and the look of the bike, you can still pick the bits that you want. If you've got a particular, I don't know, car in the garage or something that you're like, I'd love it if it could match the Porsche thing or something like that, then we can match that to it, give it the midnight treatment, have the seat on that you want, it will sound how you want it to sound. But all the stuff that you don't necessarily think about, things like electronics packages and all these things and all the blackout work and the lighting, we've already sorted that out for you. That's all done. We know what that is. We know what that package looks like. We know what it feels like. And it's the best of what we think the R nineT has to offer already.
Okay, well, let's dig into the bike. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, that paint job, and you've already named it, but it's so deep and stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, so the whole point of this was basically we wanted to have a bike, the original Midnight Racer, that had Stu's race number in it, but you didn't necessarily see it. We didn't want it to look like a sports bike with like overt graphics on it. So the original suggestion to our guys at Valkyrie was, can you give me a paint job that has loads of stuff in it that you can't see until the lighting's in a certain way? And so that's exactly what they developed with this. That's what we call the midnight paint scheme.
So this is sort of like the black.
Yeah. So we offer each customer who wants to buy one of these their individual number. This customer's put his initials on there. We've got what is effectively the BMW M, but for us it's the W for work Rennen, which is everything we've learned on track. We subtly put that underneath, and then like the guys at Valkyrie just make this. It almost looks like you can reach your hand into it. It's almost like liquid sort of paint. It's stunning. The guys do an amazing job, and we're really pleased with how the whole series has come together from that.
The background with the paint, essentially, the guys take what is a very, very bright colour. So to see this in its base form without the 7 layers of tinted lacquer on it, you'd be like, no way is that the same colour. It's bright blue.
It's almost that, isn't it? Like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's like almost like the LED on the mic. Like it's an electric blue, and then they just put layers and layers and layers of tinted lacquer, and that's where we get the depth. Yeah. And like Rory said, each bike will be built individually for a customer. So the customer can change elements of the bike, which is the colourway. Outside of that, the hidden work Rennen badge, that will always be there. The mudguard, the front headlight setup, this will all be the same The only thing that will make it individual to each and every customer is their chosen number on the rear cowl.
Right, okay. And so beneath the visuals, all of the race stuff that you guys have done, that's all in this motor setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
So talk me through the engine.
We spent a lot of time testing the products on track. So we worked very closely with a tuning company in Germany, and we approached them with our race bike project, which is our Suzuka endurance bike. And that is the Gen 3 engine platform, which allows us to then have a shift assist package on it, along with all of our race-derived maps, which is
quick shift.
Correct, yeah. So we've
Up
got
and down.
effectively
Yeah.
up and down, yeah. So we've got auto blip on the way up and obviously throttle cut on the way down, so you can flat shift. So it puts a massive smile on your face because it is incredible to ride. It is silky smooth thanks to the guys doing such a good job with the electronics, and it has been tried and tested. Like, we have put this bike, not this bike, but this package through its paces on track. It can really hold up on track very, very well.
I think testament to that is the fact that, it's not many people can say that they've got a MotoGP or ex-World Superbike MotoGP engineers mapping their bikes, and that's what we've done. Like, we're not just sort of throwing it to the local tuners. This is like it's going to Germany to people who've been working with BMWs and BMW engine bikes back since the CRT days in MotoGP. Right. They know their stuff. Yeah. They're currently working with Nate Kern over in the States. He's trying to push his R9T as hard as he can. He's currently getting 135 brake out the back wheel, which is 190 stock. So you're looking almost a third extra power out of the back of it. So all the information they get from that, we're transplanting into these as well.
Right, and this is the oil there called motor that first saw light of day in the HP2. It's been around a while.
Yeah.
All of this knowledge and tech that is now infused into this. I mean, things like your airbox delete.
Yeah. The guys at RS2E, they've worked so long with these now, and they've been requested so many different configurations that now we can say, this one, for example, with the race bike, there are certain race series where you need to have the airbox in, so they'll map it to have the airbox in, etc., etc., etc. So we're bespoke tuning them to the fact that the airbox has been removed, and we're still getting more power out of them. And again, Nate in the US has dynoed these and knows that now, previously you had to keep the airbox in, you can now remove the airbox, put the pod filters on, and actually get more power because of the way that they can map them. It's just unreal stuff. And obviously, that's taking stuff to the extreme. We understand that not every customer that's going to buy one of these is going to go for that, but you've still got, because it's the Gen 3 platform, you've got the fly-by-wire throttle on this, you've got rider modes. So you can go out on this, and if it happens to, start hacking it down like it tends to at this time of year, you can just pop it into rain mode and just pull it home safely.
So the clock is different as well, isn't it? Aftermarket.
Yeah. So that's a COSO LED LED clock. All the same functionality as the standard one, but it's just a much more, let's just say, neo-retro sort of look to it than standards.
Very sleek. And it sits a little higher, it feels, than the stock R9T.
So same again, we're taking everything we've learnt on track and done a race-filtered version for the road. So it's got a 25mm high rear shock, which gives you a little bit extra turning, a little bit more support regards corner entry. Mm-hmm. This is stuff that we've tried and tested on the racetrack that we now know will work for the geometry of a road-going bike without it feeling too aggressive. And obviously we haven't gone down the route of clip-ons. We've gone obviously with the MA11 bars, which give that aggressive feedback. That sort of like that good feedback through the road without it being as aggressive as clip-ons. Yeah. So we're taking what works on track and making it even better for the road so that people can get the usability of going out, having a really good, chilled but fast ride if they want to, but not having a bad back when they get home.
Yeah, I mean, essentially we want people to ride this here, don't we?
Yeah,
we want
absolutely.
people to think, right, do you know what, I've got 4 hours on a Sunday afternoon, I'm off to the bike shed for a coffee. So, we want to make it usable, and we think that with everything that BMW give you first, we've then enhanced and perfected the other bits that we want to add on to there. We've made it look cool on the ones come out of the shop, and effectively we've made what we think is bloody close to the ultimate R9T.
Absolutely, yeah.
Talk me through some of the parts. So we've got the mudguard. This is because you make your own parts.
Yeah, we have our own parts too, yeah.
So the mudguard, the sort of cowl, is that?
So once again, we've worked with Valkyrie to produce these parts in-house. So this is a standalone PCC product that is part of our nineT series.
Right.
So this is, if you see this on a bike, it is a bike that is from our nineT series. So we've got a couple of builds that we're getting ready for the Bike Shed show that will have this front end on, and that is customers that have requested an element of our nineT series implanted onto their bike. So we've got the PCC front mudguard, PCC nineT series front end, which is a Koso headlight with the cowl.
Yeah.
Move that back towards this is an OEM part.
Right.
So this is an OEM BMW urban high level seat.
Yeah.
And that is something that obviously we reupholstered in-house, and then obviously it's painted with the signature number on the back for customers.
Yeah, so it's got the airbox removal, it's got the PCC scoop. So again, this is a product that we've produced in-house. This replaces the sort of traditional R90 snorkel, which you have to get rid of when you get rid of the airbox anyway. So it's a nice solution. We've then, I guess, PCC'd it by throwing the little kidney grille, the little BMW homage in the front of it as well, just to, again, try and make it look a bit more like a factory product. We've always said, factory finish is the way we've always wanted to go. And then just moving back, we've then got the PCC, minimal sort of number plate hanger.
Very tight.
Yeah, and then we've thrown a smattering of, premium products on it. After that, we've got Aquapovich, we've got Wilburs, we've got DNA filters. This one's particularly shod with Dunlop. We do tend to work really, really close with Dunlop for such.
Yeah.
Everything else it's just, Gillies, it's just the high end of the high end when it comes to accessorizing. These ones here are the Motor Gadget ones. So the Motor Gadget 10s, they're fantastic. The front ones are down here, hidden on the cooler, so you can barely notice that they're there, but they are bright as when they're working.
As we mentioned earlier, we wanted to make sure it is a business card of everything you can buy from us.
Right.
So there is nothing on here that we've got, oh, I'm sorry, that's special order or that. It's like, no. Everything is here you can find on our website. So effectively,
as much as
yeah. So if a customer comes in and goes, I'll tell you what, I don't want to buy a nineT series bike, but I really love that rear end, no problem. Head to piercitycustom.com and you can buy it on there.
The only thing you can't buy is the paint. That's us. We're having
that's us.
That's signature.
That's signature, yeah. There are a few bits that we're obviously very precious about. The bike as a whole, that is a nineT series product. Mm-hmm. That is a click-to-buy motorcycle. Outside of that, if you want to buy bits and bobs from it, it's all there.
So you can go onto the website, onto the configurator, choose your parts, choose your colour, choose your finish, and then...
Yeah, we've been very careful with how many choices we're going to give customers.
Okay.
So you've got choices you've got choices of seat, exhaust, and whether you are supplying us with the bike or whether you want the bike supplied.
Mm-hmm.
It's choice paralysis, isn't it? We offer nearly 1,000 parts on the website, and that can get a little bit muddling if you are fresh to it. That's why we've just said basically everything under the hood, we've taken care of that. Don't you worry.
So, how many R90s have you guys done now? Any idea? Total?
Full builds, I'm going to say dozens. I mean, we bring 3 or 4, we've brought 6 to the show.
Yeah.
Every year for the last 2 years. We brought 3 the year before, I think it was, plus all of the custom builds. We probably do a dozen bigger builds a year, I'd say, ballpark. And then, we're booked up, March now, and we're booked until late July, early August, just for, even if you say I need a set of handlebars or a service, we're saying it's 4 months at the moment. So that gives you a clue of how many bikes we're squeezing in within that amount of time.
And in terms of the show this year, you got a couple of bikes lined up for us?
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. It's our go-to. Yeah, that's what we start planning the Bike Shed in October. I think we start planning the Bike Shed before you guys start planning.
And so, what are you? Any teasers of what's coming to the show?
Yeah, so we're going to be taking
some unusual bikes.
One bike for BMW.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking a brand new R12 for BMW. The details of that are all sewn up in-house, but we're not going to let on too much just because we still need to get the bike first and then work out one.
That will be a great hits of PCC stuff as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Tried and tested formula for that. It's very cool.
Then we're going to have 3 bikes. This will be there. As well as being at our open day on the 23rd of March, which you can come down to our workshop and see that. It'll be at the show. We're then going to have 2 other bikes on our stand at the show. And they are both, we're going to keep this under our hats a little bit. They're both going to be very special. They're going to be probably the most bespoke 2 bikes we've ever built, I would say. And given some of our previous, like the R18s, like the Night Dragon and stuff, which were very, very, individual, these 2 are sort of moving big time on top of that. And not only that, we're bringing some other stuff this time, not just bikes. We're bringing a whole array of excitement. That's all I'm going to say for now, because we've got to put a lot of stuff in place yet to make sure it's signed off.
Both of the bikes are motion picture related.
Motion picture related?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, some mad details going into them.
So you bring those to the show in May. Before that, you mentioned 23rd of
March.
23rd of March, yeah.
Your open day.
Open day at the workshop in Henfield, yeah.
Because your workshop, since I was last there, you've expanded, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you've not been to the new one. So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's probably 3 times the size of the previous one. We had an open day last year, just really to sort of like celebrate finally finishing it. And we had well over 100 bikes in throughout the course of, we're only open for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and it hacked it down the night before. Like the roads were flooded. We weren't expecting as many people to turn up. It was quite humbling, wasn't it?
Yeah, we opened the car park to R9Ts and R18s only, and it still filled up. And then the people were parking down the drive. It was much, much bigger. So we thought, well, you know, let's start the season, same again this year. Put new bikes on the ramps. We'll have at least one of the Bike Shed show bikes there.
Yes,
this one as well, possibly.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quite cool. We've got some other projects. We'll have the race bike there. We've got some R18s in at the moment that we've had at the previous Bike Shed shows again. So it's going to be good. We'll have coffee, merch, all sorts.
Yeah, some sweet treats.
And in terms of, you said you opened up a car park to R90s and R18s. Obviously, you guys have been building on this platform for a long time, but there's the new platform now, the R12 and the R12 nineT.
Yeah.
And you say you're doing an R12 for the show.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've actually got one coming in a bit, so I was hoping to wheel it in and pick your brains about it while you're here.
Yeah, cool.
Because obviously that's exciting for you guys, a whole new
100%.
generation to play with.
100%.
We'll talk about that in another video, and thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much. Really
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Cheers, dude.